Hello, welcome everyone to another session of New Horizons, wherein I get pinned to the wall on spelling of various cultures and planets and such.
Hey, these things are important.
True. Um, and I did, I guess, earn it by starting it. I was gonna check Harvario in particular. I actually, oh, did I edit that?
I'm
No, I didn't.
pretty
Okay.
sure Chris spelled it with all the vowels at the end, like every single vowel.
So let me. So it's actually like this. He actually misspelled it a time or two with an extra A, and
That's how
so
I think he had it on the sector map, though.
it isn't though. I was actually just checking because I was
Oh,
trying to
you have
remember
that
because I
still.
yeah I
Yeah,
confirmed that recently.
Oh, okay,
Um,
cool.
but yeah, that's technically the spelling of Harvario, uh, and
mm,
that's what I've stuck with. Pretty sure when I have spelled it for you guys. This is not an
that
invitation to
feels
go
new.
hunting through my my
Oh,
post
that's
history.
that is actually how I thought he spelled it. Where was the extra A?
It was like doubled up with one of the other A's.
Oh
Was
goodness. Okay.
yeah,
No, that's too many A's.
basically.
3 A's is a perfect number of A's. You can
Hmm.
form a triangle
Uh,
with 3 A's.
And there was some dissension. All right, so you will note that I have found the what I've dubbed the New Horizons credit flow. You guys can rename that if you want, but that's all the things that money has been officially spent on. Although there are a couple recent fuel ups missing, so uh, I'll correct the balance at some point. But that's a relative drop in the bucket, all things considered. So not urgent. Um, so yeah, how would you guys like us to recap here? Avery typed up a wonderful little summary. That's a few paragraphs worth. I don't know if you guys want to have that read aloud or just summarized.
I don't have a preference.
I'll just read it aloud and we can see how that goes.
Sounds good.
So last week, Cersei fought vigorously for the independence of the protections promised to the Gratari with the CIS. Anagris was in agreement with us to provide for the Gratari, but Havario and blah blah. How do you say that? Lohan Uda?
Loe Nuda. Yeah.
Lohan Nuda. Still probably got that wrong. Were not as open to the arrangements they were making if it were to mean initiating any form of direct confrontation with Urala. Uh, it was unclear at the beginning of the session what particular arrangements would be needed to form an alliance with them, but our intention was to offer our services as masters of our trade in exchange for a solemn promise that Tom and his people would be under their protection. After some deliberations, we returned to the ship for a brief rest. Cade took advantage of this peace and quiet and decided to play a practical joke on the party, using speakers to emulate the familiar sound of Nero bouncing her ball. To the amusement of Cade, the result being Nero, Java, and the unnamed passenger taking part in an actual game. The result ended with Nero winning, Java promising that he would get Nero and himself past Nick. Quote. Cersei brought the group together shortly after to meet with Martin Alder, who had commissioned them to acquire the ship, the very ship that they had been using up until this point the Prudence, in return for a hefty reward. Cersei knew how important the Prudence would be to the mission, so she made another arrangement with Martin Alder to fulfill the original obligation in a slightly different way. They would use the Prudence to acquire more riches that would even satisfy Martin. He agreed with the understanding that his team, under the supervision of Cade, would be allowed to survey our ship. Um, only after making an offer to still purchase the ship 3 million credits above the estimated value, which Nick placed at nearly 3 million credits at this point. After that meeting, we returned to the ship, where Brother Nick was met by Owen, the unnamed passenger who actually took part in our ball game shortly before that, and was requested to say a prayer for the crew. In the midst of that, Nero and Java were quick to undertake their own plans, and that's where we left off. Anything I missed there?
Nothing that I can recall.
Nope.
Very thorough. Thank you.
Mm.
All right. And Ethan has dropped the bin official style guide. TM. That's pretty close. I'll give my review later.
I still
Um,
think Lohane Uda should just be L for, Lohane, shorten that to L, and then Udites for Ludites for the practical joke of it.
I
Ludites.
definitely like that.
That's really good.
Or better yet, make it just different enough that it's going to be really easy to mispronounce all the time.
I'm never gonna get Lohane Nuda right.
Oh, he says getting it right.
Yep.
Yeah, like make it Ludates or something.
That's Ludites. It sounds like Ludites, but there's that little jump in there where the
Ludite.
A comes in. Ludites.
Exactly.
Ludites.
Exactly.
It's like you're saying I
I like good
I-
eye.
or
Good
good
night.
eye. Exactly.
Ludites.
Yes.
Uh-oh.
I think
Australian
it's canon now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm hearing Danielle in the background.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm here, just not feeling great right now. Sorry.
Oh, sorry to hear
Oh,
that.
hope you feel better.
Thanks.
Ice cream in ya.
Ugh.
Sorry. I knew that was a bad suggestion. Just messing. All right, so let's go ahead and pick up. We had left off with the crew back on the ship, with Avery and Nero having successfully snuck off to partake in rice cakes, while
You
Brother
don't know
Nick.
what to do in there.
I do know what they're doing in there,
Oh, that's right, you do.
because I am the GM. I see all. And Brother Nick hasn't felt a disturbance in the force, so we know everything's above board. But yeah, you're expecting Martin Alder's technicians soon, and there hadn't been a clearly agreed upon time frame for how long you were going to let his guys poke around. You were just going to play it by ear, see how long it took. So, is there anything else that you guys would like to do before he and his guys show up? Would you like to just pick up right where we left off?
Hey Ben,
Mm-hmm.
uh, would you be willing to take the kittens back real quick before we delve into this?
Yeah, I'll let you guys decide if you want to pick up right where you left off or go ahead and fast forward to the next thing happening. BRB.
Okay. Um,
I think we pick up where we left off. I mean, how long do you think we'll be waiting for Martin's people?
I don't think I have a preference.
I'm happy to. Well, oh, so the choices are either pick up while waiting or pick up when they get there. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think so.
Hmm.
So as we were, or time skip.
I kind of vote time skip personally.
Yeah. Doesn't seem like there's
Thank you, Ben.
much going on right before that.
Besides, we can also cut back to the whole narrow and Java trying to clean up all the crumbs.
If Ben's back, we could get an estimate of about how long.
Guess he's not back.
I say if it's not like 12 hours, 8 hours of time skip, if it's like, a few hours, then that seems okay with me.
Because we're skipping from where?
From where we left off, where we had just come back, um, and Brother Nick had been doing services for Owen Reynolds, I think? Owen Raymond?
Okay. Yeah.
Um, or skip to when Martin Alder's technicians arrive.
I'm kind of up for skipping to when the technicians get there.
Yeah,
But if
I think that sounds good.
Ethan wants to do the scene with Brother Nick, I'm totally fine for that.
Oh no, I'm gonna skip ahead.
Okay.
Okay. All right. I am trying to be paying more attention now, by the way. I'm kind of zoning out during the recaps and stuff. Hello?
Yep.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh, man. All right. Okay, so Ben took the kittens back upstairs. Hopefully the kids are asleep. We're going to
They
be
are so
seeing
asleep.
Martin Alder's suit. They're so asleep. Awesome.
Nice.
And now, having jinxed it, let us
Oh
continue.
no.
I think we came to a
Uh,
decision, Ben, but it's kind of contingent on how long you think it might take Martin Alder's men to come by.
oh yeah, for
Hmm.
sure.
Because we don't want to
Okay.
like say time skip and then all of a sudden 3 weeks pass.
Ah, I got you. Oh,
No,
you're
my mods.
you were so close to falling into my trap. Yeah. So it'll be about 2.5 hours later or so.
Oh, that's perfect. Time skip.
Everyone is just long enough for everyone to get a little restless. Some people more than others on the ship. Um, Caldwell and Boris, along with Martinius, are off in a meeting with at least the Anagrians, and you're not sure when to expect them back, but you know they were likely going to be gone a good bit of the day. So we resume around midday by Terran Standard Time, and there comes a intercom ding at the airlock, and it's Martin Alder with his technicians in tow. And he himself, he's dressed in his usual flamboyant attire, and he's at his side is a particularly bookish-looking individual carrying a data slab and pushing a large cart that's loaded down with quite a bit of equipment. And in the hall back behind them, there are 4 other people all in there. Various lab gear and also sporting either armfuls of equipment or carts themselves. So he's got quite the
Saoirse,
crew ready to.
yeah, upon seeing that, Saoirse is going to say something along the lines of, sorry, first accent switch of the night. One second. Are you planning on studying it or building a new one right there?
Martin laughs. Oh, but of course, I trust my technicians to know what they need, and this is what they tell me. I've never laid hands on a pre-tech drive before, so they just brought everything.
Yeah.
Never know what they might need.
See, you're a bit delirious here about it. All right. Well, come this way then. And
He-
she'll turn around and then realize she has no idea where the drive is on the ship. And she will clear her throat and put her hand on Kate's shoulder and say, Kate will be showing you right to it.
Kincaid pull up a schematic of the ship and take him back because it's not like he's the tech guy either.
Yeah, he can pull up. I don't see any reason why he wouldn't be able to pull up a schematic of the ship.
I mean, I
I say
figured,
answering for the DM. Sorry. Go ahead, Ben.
but yeah,
yeah, he would know it's back in the
I'm assuming it's back here.
back
Or
in the engineering section of the ship. Yeah, it's in here. It's got a
so yeah, he'll escort them back to the engineering area.
and it basically
Oh my
comprises of
stars.
lots of parts that are spread around in this chamber.
Can I give you any more power, Captain?
Saoirse will give him a level, it's sort of a glare, but a level look if he says that.
Sorry, old Holovid reference.
Real cute horror, aren't you? Now to the drive, if you don't mind.
We're basically in it down here. No,
Yeah,
point them at the area and sure
the whole
consoles and access panels.
the whole procession through the ship is quite an event as people are trying to squeeze to the sides of the ship to get out of the way and moving sleeping bags and stuff to clear the path for the carts to roll through. And several uh, several people that have been set up in this little area around the drive
Mm-hmm.
take one look at all this and uh, get the hint. They bundle their stuff up and scoot off to go hang out somewhere else for the time being. And without even a gesture from Mr. Alder, his lead technician snaps his fingers and starts dishing out orders to his crew, and they start un, uncoiling cables and hoses and setting up a couple little pop-out desks and lining up machines and various equipment. And Martin Alder does it while they're all setting up. He does a couple rounds around the room, just oohing and awing and looking at all of it, and then brushes his hands and says, "Well, Mr. Cade, I suppose you can handle getting the technical information that my chief technician needs, and I'll leave it all in your capable hands. I'll be just a call away, and good luck."
Okay. Thanks.
He tips his hat to you and heads off in the wrong direction through the ship.
Sir, it's back that way. Other right.
Ah, of course. Thank you. He turns back around and heads the right way.
Awesome.
I should note at this point that should note at this point that nobody has seen either Nero or Java since returning to the ship.
Of course not. Balcade is transferring them some of the technical specs of the ship from his, remote access into the computer, or like pulling it up on one of the panels there in engineering, showing them how to find it. He'll then pull out his communicator and he'll I think he'll text brother Nick and say, "We seem to have two missing of our own."
Would Saoirse have heard that?
He would have texted it to brother Nick.
Okay. LOL. Get the purity police on him.
Well, I was thinking more of, don't get them in trouble with the captain. But
There you go.
but that might actually be getting them in more trouble. Yeah, no.
Mhm.
So his data slab sends back an automated message that says, "Sorry, currently preaching right now. Can't come to the phone."
Okay.
Currently preaching. Can't come to the phone. Is it an automated one? Because that makes it even better.
That is
It's an automated
fantastic.
message.
Okay, then Cade will copy and paste the message and send it to Saoirse instead. Two of our own seem to be missing currently.
Saoirse, upon getting the message, can kind of see like the little loading image over her head, like she's trying to figure out who's missing. And does she know where Brother Nick is right now?
I would guess. I think he's been preaching in the main cargo area in this
Okay.
interim time.
So she's just kind of doing the doot, 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 doot. When you see it, the look of realization on her face. She's just gonna like close her eyes very slowly. And if you didn't know any better, you'd think that maybe she was praying, but she's not Brother Nick, so you doubt it. And she messages back really quickly. Do you have any idea where they are?
Well, I guess Cade will text back and say, I haven't reviewed footage of the corridors to figure that out yet, but these two did sneak off with each other another time. I don't know where they might have gone this time.
She'll hand wave away, like almost like they're physically having the conversation, speaking to one another. She'll just wave her hand, and then remembering that they're messaging and not speaking, she'll just say, "Just keep on top of Alder and his men. I'll go figure out where they are."
You got it.
All right. So, has Saoirse seen them walking around anywhere?
She has not.
No, dadgummit. Okay. She's gonna start looking in the places they've previously been seen sulking off to. So she will first check in the armory, and not finding them there, she will go over here to go and check in Victor's the gun turret, basically. And if she doesn't find them in there,
She does not.
she will get a little concerned. She'll pop her head into here and she'll ask Tom if he has any idea where Nero and Java are.
He looks up from the data slab that he's reading and smooth as clockwork makes the telepathic connection again. I'm sorry, would you repeat that?
A couple of dossers that have been missing on my ship repeatedly, Java and Nero. Do you have any idea where they might be?
No, I do not.
Great. Must crack on then. Apologies for messing up with you. By the way, there's someone here who is quite excited, Deliria and Xeria really, to meet you, and I promised that he would get the chance. So, just a heads up, he is actually quite a kind man. I think he would rather like getting to have conversation with you. When I mentioned the telepathy, he was right excited that. So, just thought you'd like to know, just a heads up.
His mandibles waving in the air. As he considers that, he replies, "Very well, thank you for warning me.
Right?
Should
Just
I
trying to do my best.
should I go to meet him in the common area?
No. Actually, you just wait here and we'll pop over to your gaff later. All right? Crack on. And she'll just turn around and I will say that she's really flustered with Nero and Java missing. And so she is just not even thinking clearly about what slang she is or is not using. But I'm hoping that Tom's telepathic link with her will help bridge any gaps that he might not understand.
If only the telepathic link
Work for you.
I was, I was gonna say if only it interpreted meaning as well as the words themselves.
Right. I'll just say translation.
Yeah,
She said,
unfortunately, it does not include definition.
"No, you stay here. We'll come back to your place later. I've got a lot to do. I better get back to it."
That actually does bring up a good question though, because it's using the subject's mind to basically impart the ability to speak and understand that language. So, kind of makes sense that little idioms and stuff like that would probably make the
Jump.
Yeah,
jump as well. Yeah. Hmm,
it translates well enough, I think.
yeah.
Yeah.
I hadn't had to think about that before.
Congratulations, Danielle.
I try to push the boundaries of your mind. All right. So anyway, I'm looking for uh, what I think are going to be two very awkward people that are somewhere. Uh, she gets to her own door and very hesitantly knocks.
She doesn't hear
And
any reply.
when she pokes her head inside and sees no one, she lets out a really relieved sigh. And does actually send a prayer to a faceless god whom she hasn't prayed to in a long time of thanks. Um, and then she's going to kind of skirt around the edges of Brother Nick's sermonizing here, um, and go into here, and she'll say hi to Ahmed, and then ask if he's seen Java or Nero.
Uh, he would turn around and look at her and think for a second. I believe I saw them coming on the ship when you all came back from meeting with that alder fellow, but uh, don't think I've seen them since then.
All right, grand. You can tell she sounds dejected at this point. Um, is there a monitor in here where she could check the cameras to see if she can see where they went, knowing roughly when they all came back on the ship?
Yeah, there is.
All right. She would like to try doing that.
Okay. Um, mhm. You think she's familiar enough with sh with ship computers and stuff to do something basic like that?
Oh, I would hope to
Okay.
do something basic like that.
Okay. I was just checking. I didn't think she had any particular reason not to, but yeah. So she can find those and go back to the time that you all returned, roughly. She sees everybody come onto the ship, and she sees Owen uh, approach Brother Nick. Two of them talk for a moment, and then as they leave the little, I guess, common room that's there, just just inside the airlock there, uh, she sees Nero come in, and Java enters from another door, grabs her arm, and speaking to her urgently. Then the two of them head off towards the bridge.
Okay. Is there any video in the bridge?
Uh, there's there's one that shows them both going. They open the door to Java's little chamber. The conspiratorial glance both ways real quick, and then they both dart in and shut the door behind them. And she keeps watching and sees nothing. She speeds up time a bit, fast forwards through all the way up to the moment she's at currently. Sees a few other people come and go as normal, but no sign of them opening that door.
As this has come through, she's just covered her face with her hands, like she just doesn't even. She's not even looking at the camera anymore. And I'm guessing Ahmed might have noticed what I'm doing. I don't know if he would actually look or not. If he hears her sigh heavily enough, but
Yeah, he's watching her. He's curious about what's going on. He's got nothing better to do. You find them?
I've got a question for you.
Sure. Shoot.
Parents ever catch you sneaking off with a girl?
His eyes go wide.
She'll like pinch
That's
the bridge of her
kind of
nose and give him a sidelong
personal.
glance. What
Why would you
what
need
they
to know
do?
that?
Because I need to know how to deal with some people acting like a bunch of horny teenagers on my ship.
He
You
gives
seem
a
like an
very uncomfortable
upstanding young
cough.
man, and I was hoping maybe they did something right.
Brother Nick would walk in around this.
Oh no.
So,
So he'd
Ahmed,
come in and say, well, I was a little rusty on my preaching, but I think I managed to keep things fairly brief.
Ahmed looks very. He's still looking very uncomfortable, and he looks from Saoirse to Brother Nick. Looks back to Saoirse and says, "I think that's a conversation we should have another time, but I think for now the best course of action is to do nothing."
Brother Nick is reading the room, and look on their faces. Says, oh, what's going on?
Just a personal matter. Saoirse had some very personal questions for me.
Saoirse, who's already beet red, is going to avoid looking at Brother Nick with every ounce of her being.
Oh no. Okay, he can realize that level of
Embarrassment.
Embarrassment from Saoirse can only mean one thing.
Oh no.
Stonily faced, he leaves and heads to the miscellaneous storage room. Is there a hose in there?
A hose in there?
I thought he was about to give Saoirse a piece of his mind because Ahmed's a married man.
A
Yeah, I'm
hose.
figuring it's like a mop.
Yeah.
So is there like a hose hooked up in there for cleaning?
Oh, no.
I'd say
Saoirse's
there's.
going to turn to the cameras and just clear the file off of the screen. And she's going to look back at Ahmed and just give him an extremely serious look. She's going to say, listen, I need you to act thick if he asks you anything about it. You know nothing. Are we clear? And she's just like going to stare hard enough to just bore into his soul. I will take your advice if you can give me your word on this.
Um, he just makes a like zipper across the mouth motion and flicks it away.
That's a good lad. Appreciate it. I'll go check on the old fella.
Still looking very uncomfortable. So Brother Nick, he would find. Yeah, I imagine there's a water hookup there to fill like the cleaning tool. It's like a vacuum mop, pressure washer, all in one kind of deal. But probably not just that thing would have like a hose attachment, I guess. So sure.
Does it look like it'd reach
So
to
he,
Java's room?
so I mean, he could fill up the little tank on that
Oh,
thing
okay.
and take it
He's
with
My
him.
Yeah,
stars.
he's filling it up.
All right. When Saoirse leaves the room. Oh wait, is he back already?
Yes, he is.
Oh no. Oh my stars. Okay. She's gonna just like slide in between Nick and the door and she's gonna say, Nick, listen to me. Just they're two grown adults, okay? I know this is not exactly in line with what you'd like for either of them, but we can maybe sit down and have a conversation like other grown adults.
So he's still
Oh no, Avery. Don't pee yourself, Avery.
looking pretty
I'm loving her
intense.
too.
Oh my word.
Saying she's just a child, Saoirse, and this
She's not.
hooligan, this rapscallion
Listen,
has
listen.
come onto the boat.
I don't need to make a holy show or a hams of it, all right? Listen, she's a grown woman. Much more. Listen, I bunk with her. I can tell you she's not a child, though she might act like it at times. She is a grown lass. Now, listen, I know, but maybe Java isn't the sort we would have picked for her. Maybe he's somebody we would have thought, maybe get to know him a little bit. Don't get all flustered and floozy on the first night. But listen, it's a fine thing. He's okay. Why don't we just, fair play and just let it be and talk to her later about it and just not go in there effing and blinding and tossing buckets of water.
Oh yeah, so it's taking a deep breath. 'Cause, there is some sense in that, but you need to talk to them, and soon before there's a Java Junior running around.
Saoirse is gonna completely pale when he says that. The concept of narrow pregnant flashes through her mind, and she's looks like she's.
Plot twist. Saoirse slams open the door.
She grabs the bucket. Let me in.
She just slides out of Brother Nick's way. Actually, she's just literally going to just slowly move out of his way, and she just sweeps her arm towards the door, like, "Go ahead."
Okay. Is the door to where it'll just slide open?
So Brother Nick can try the access panel there and to open the door. But yeah, it
Oh
would
no, it's
slide
gonna be
open,
locked. This
presumably.
is gonna look even more sus.
No. So he's torn. It's going to plan here, but he's like, they didn't even lock it.
Yeah, it's not showing the little locked indicator.
Is this just like an open bucket kind of thing that he's carried it?
No, so it's like so
Or a
imagine like
spray thing?
one of those kind of like semi-portable vacuums. It's still got some heft to it, but it's got like imagine it's got like a water tank built into it too, and it's got
Oh
multifunction
no.
stuff, but it's got a little hose attachment that he could basically jet water at them with.
Oh
Okay,
no!
yeah, so he's just cranking it full blast.
And spray everybody, huh?
Please tell
Yeah.
me he's yelling
Honestly.
something about, purity or something while he's running in there.
Right, so does Brother Nick open the door?
Yeah, so he's just thrown open the door and started spraying.
Is he yelling anything at the same time?
I think he was letting him get surprised first.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So Brother Nick, righteous
Oh my word.
indignation on his face, with Saoirse standing aside, looking very chagrined, and all kinds of mixed, confused emotions on her face. Ahmed leaning out of his chair, trying to see what's going on, but
Painting this beautiful picture for us. Thank you.
trying not to get too close. Brother Nick opens the door and starts blasting water, and the water is immediately splashed back in his face as it bounces off the underside of the bed, which, having been
What?
leaning on end up against the door, is now falling out of the room onto Brother Nick.
Oh my word. Saoirse is going to, without thinking, just instantly use her telekinesis to grab the bed from crushing Brother Nick.
Okay. All right, so she catches the bed mid fall, before it before it hits him, and the water is splashed on both of you and gotten a good bit all over the floor. Does Brother Nick keep spraying?
So is the bed like out of the way now? Or has it just been held up in place?
Is she gonna go ahead and pull it out of the way?
She had really just tried to keep it from crushing him, but if he's scrambling to get up, she's afraid he's gonna hurt himself on it. So she'll pull it aside.
Yeah, he's not letting up. So in just a couple of seconds, the bed falls out of the room, deflecting the spray of water all over the both of you.
My stars.
Brother Nick staggers back a little bit, surprised, but is leaning into it, ready to knock the bed out of the way. So
Yes.
Saoirse jerks it aside with telekinesis, and the two of you are greeted to the sight of, first of all, Nero and Java both spluttering awake, laying on the cold, hard floor of the room. Nero fully clothed, Java's shirtless, but spluttering and clearly just now waking up. And there's quite a number of crumbs scattered all over the floor around them, and resting on them. Yeah,
Oh,
Java
no.
and Nero. Spluttering awake with being blasted with water.
Nero tries to leap to her
Find
feet.
this for rice cake.
Okay,
my word.
All right, so for narrow,
My stars.
survive check,
Okay.
dexterity.
Survive Dex. Oh boy.
All right.
Oh.
Narrow launches herself somewhere, apparently trying to get to her feet, but she slips in the water and just slides forward. Is still very clearly disoriented. Is Brother Nick still spraying at this point?
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
he's
so if
gotta
Nero's
be.
out of the way, he's aiming for Java. He's gonna.
This young hustler who's come after his little girl.
Okay, what's Java doing?
Is
Oh,
there
God.
like soap hooked up to
Half
this?
drowning.
He's using this.
Uh,
He's turned on the soap.
there is soapy water being splashed all over Java.
I mean, he's gonna try and get out of the way. Let's see how that goes.
I'm laughing because
Alright.
this bedroom is basically a closet and there is nowhere to
Yeah.
go.
No, there isn't.
Yeah.
Okay, let's have a survive dex check from Java as well.
It's in the form of rushing Nick with the hose. Oh. Oh. Come on, thing. What is my modifier here? Dex? Oh,
Mhm.
okay. Oh, wait. Cancel. So modifier is 0, right?
Yeah.
Dex, go.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Okay. Check your messages here, Avery.
Oh
He's
no.
thinking of his rice cakes and his rice cakes alone. He must save them.
Oh
That
my
roll,
goodness.
though.
Nice find, Robert.
Thanks. It took a second.
All right. Yeah, so Java like shakes his head, just manages to block the spray for a second with his arm, but seems to get his bearings. Do you want to take it from here, Avery?
Okay, yeah. So at this moment, Java's realizing that the remaining 9 rice cakes that he has are definitely in the line of fire, and very likely could be ruined by, this onslaught of water that is threatening him. He, with his remaining hand, thinks to protect his rice cakes, he's left with only one option. He grabs Nero and holds her directly in front of him in the line of fire, apologizing profusely as he does it. It's for the rice cakes, he says.
Oh boy. Oh, to everyone around her, in front and behind. What are you doing? Stop!
Is she resisting this grapple?
And she realizes that rice cakes are on the line.
It's for
Mm.
the rice cakes, Nero. I'm so sorry. How would Brother Nick react to Java pulling Nero in front of him as a human shield to his righteous baptism of anger?
Yeah, so I think
Right.
more incensed, but he's cranking down the sprayer since it's narrow.
Righteous
Get him a
baptism
bunch
of
of-
soapy anger. Ah, maybe that's the session title.
By the way, Ben, I don't know
Yes.
if you saw what I wrote on Roll20, but Saoirse had started recording it once
Oh,
she
nice.
realized that everybody was clothed.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, Brother Nick will yell, "Narrow, get out of there! I have words with that rapscallion,
Alien. Yes! Nailed it!
rake."
She's
God,
trying
what
to.
are Martin Alder's people thinking right now?
Well, y'all are pretty
Earplugs
far from the
in.
engineering room.
No, we're pretty far from the engineering room. There's at least 1, 2, 3. There's at least 3 doors in between us and the engineering room.
But the Rollins
Oh,
who
no.
might be nearby.
No.
I don't
None of
know.
shouldn't be any on the bridge. We're
I
good.
guess they were
sh-
pouring out of the 3-hour sermon.
Yeah, they
You
were
say,
probably all getting off the
Hiding from Brother
ship
Nick.
as quickly as they could. Yeah.
Nero, trying to wipe soapy water from her eyes, is holding position in front of Java, and asks again, "What are you doing?"
Oh, hey, you guys need to fix your tokens. It looks like Java's actually protecting Nero
Oh.
on the map. You need to
No.
correct that, please.
There you go.
Yeah.
There we go. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Brother Nick will. What am I doing? What are you doing?
Is this soap? Why is there soap?
I think it's trying to cleanse you of all impurities from the
You can wash
outside.
away. the,
Sleeping. Sleeping is what I was doing.
We
Yeah.
know that's what you were doing. I'll take a spray if he's like peeking out behind there. He's trying to shoot around Nero.
That was Saoirse piping up from behind Brother Nick, by the way.
What did she
Brother
say?
Nick's she said, trying to wash off all the impurities from you from the outside.
Oh, goodness. Yeah.
We got a raid.
We did.
Hello, Raiders. We're having a classic misunderstood conversation. Welcome.
Nero
All
is
right.
standing in front of Brother Nick, mouth slightly agape.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so all of them thoroughly soaked in soapy water. Is Java speaking it more to defend himself here?
What is there to defend? He was sleeping, eating rice cakes. Nothing impure happened. No, I guess, what do you think we were doing?
Uh-oh.
Nero glances back at Java and then fixes her gaze on Brother Nick.
Yeah, so Brother Nick looks like he's building up a head of steam for a sermon, I guess. What you were doing.
Wait
I
a minute.
think you both know what you were doing. Nero,
no.
I'd already talked to you about
Okay.
this.
Can Saoirse, Saoirse seeing the situation, can she see, like, any kind of other reason they might have been in there? Like, we saw the crumbs, we saw that they're clothed, like, but she's actually, like, still telekinetically holding the bed, so she's just gonna, like, heft that up and just say, Why'd you barricade the door with your bed? What are you up to? And then she's also going to turn to Brother Nick and just say, just going to say to not lock the door and to not use the bed for other purposes. I don't think they were doing what you think they were doing.
Wait, you can lock the doors?
Yeah.
Saoirse is just going to like stop the record button on her compact and just look and say, like, just mouth behind Brother Nick to him, like, shut up. She's trying so hard to help him, and he's not helping.
It gave us more room.
Oh my word. Saoirse is like gonna go back to pinching nurse. You know what? I don't know why I'm even trying to help you. Listen, Brother Nick, you're gonna be running out of soap soon. Do you mind if you just try not to book it down in my bridge? Unless, you're gonna have Jova clean over this up.
Look, I'm not cleaning any of this up. I was just asleep in my room. This is ridiculous. I didn't do anything
Sleep?
wrong.
I thought you would be
Saoirse,
happy that I was not bouncing a ball off everything.
well, we were hoping you'd find something a little more productive for your energies other than slinking off at the first floozy we get on the ship.
He has rice cakes.
Saoirse had almost calmed Brother Nick down. But hearing that, he bellows, "Rice cakes! You had sex with a man for rice cakes?"
Saoirse just looks mortified, just completely mortified.
Whoa. Big misunderstanding here, big man. Arrow, tell him. Like, that's... I mean, I've told him over and over again what we were doing, but, like... I don't understand why you would think that's what we were... I mean, I told him we were eating rice cakes.
Yeah. Still kind of shocked by the whole episode here. Nero's trying to get closer to Nick, Brother Nick, but there's still kind of a bed in the way, I think, a little bit, right? Who did I have? Wait, what?
Saoirse's
I don't
like
know if he's
silently
processing.
pointing like at Java, just like peering out again from behind one hand and just pointing.
He's not my boyfriend.
No, Brother Nick is trying to move around the telekinetically held bed like he's gonna vault at Java.
Saoirse is like
He says,
attempting
"Eating
to
rice
match
cake, is that some kind of Uralian euphemism?
Oh, my
I'm not just getting started with you, boy."
And Saoirse's also gonna she's also gonna say, "Oh, so now you're thinking about Kareem. All right, got it. You weren't thinking about that all the other times that you were sneaking off with Jova."
Kareem never gave me rice cakes.
Brother Nick just bellows.
No.
Not even words anymore.
All right. I think we need to have a sit down like grown adults. Java, what are you saying you weren't or were doing? She's like raising her voice, trying to be heard over Brother Nick, and also trying to telekinetically block him from coming into the room and tearing Java apart.
I'm telling you, we went to eat with Martin, and he had these disgusting pomegranates. I tried to eat it. It tasted horrible. And so when we left, I was hungry.
They weren't good.
Very hungry. So I came back to the ship, and I promised Nero when we played our game that I would get her past Nick. And so I did. And we came to my room to eat cakes, but we didn't want any of you to bother us. So we barricaded the door. I'll admit, I didn't know we could lock it. That might have been a little dangerous. But then we ate the cakes, and it was really quiet, and I fell asleep.
I
The
didn't
hallway
fall
door
asleep
has opened.
immediately, but I didn't want to disturb him.
Victor comes rushing in, takes in the scene, and Brother Nick just clearly livid and says loudly, "What has happened? Who needs help?"
I'm not exactly sure which one to limit it to at this point, but if you could help me remove my crew from the bridge right now, that'd be great.
He comes over to Brother Nick and doesn't like grab him, but he kind of puts a hand on his shoulder and says, "Brother Nick, let's break this up."
Okay, yeah, so he's starting to calm down. And he turns to Victor with a scowl on his face, says they were eating rice cakes. And
Victor looks very confused.
gives him a significant look.
No,
He looks. He
Brother
glances
Nick
into the
doesn't buy
room.
the story.
He does a double take. I see.
No, shakes
Eating
off her arm.
rice cakes. Very well. That's good. And kind of walks along with Brother Nick, heading out down the hall. One one hand kind of on his upper back, just
Kind of leading him along.
saying, "Yeah, I I can't believe they would do this to you." Uh,
Question mark?
yeah, I'm sure with time you can work it out with them,
Oh
but
man.
later.
God bless Victor.
He glances back at Saoirse, gives her a very inquisitive look, and hmm, he he just mouths talk later.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and he goes on out the door with Nick.
Bye.
Nero climbing down from the bed, watching Brother Nick get escorted out, looks sheepishly over at Saoirse. It's that kind of look like, the dog that knows it's done something wrong, but has no idea what it is.
Saoirse is still just not sure what to even do at this point. And she'll just level a stare. Rice cakes. You're snaking off for food?
Yes. Nero
I didn't
glances.
want you guys to feel bad that I had this food and wasn't sharing it, but I mean, if it's gonna cause a fight, like here, and he just
She
pulls
looks at
the
the
rice cake.
outstretched hand with rice cakes,
No,
and she's just.
and I didn't want him to have to share with everyone.
It's okay, Nero. Just she can have
I'm
one.
sorry. Listen, as. Oh. Can you two just go get mops, please? Just clean this up. It's a bridge, not a lake. Get the filth removed and get out of my way. And she's going to, like, sort of bump them with the bed and then just dump it back unceremoniously into Java's room. And then she's going to storm off. Listen, I've got a date with an eccentric millionaire and an alien. If you don't mind, just please try and clean up the mess.
Is Brother Nick gonna come back?
You better pray to whatever god it is that he serves that he doesn't. She'll just give them one final look. Listen, take the puss off your face. I mean it. Mops. And then she's gonna walk
Okay.
out.
Yes, ma'am.
She's
Is
just
she gonna
gone.
think to say anything to Cade, or is
Oh,
she
she
just so
already
shook by this
sent
whole
him
thing?
the video. No, she has sent
Oh,
him the
okay.
video from her compad
Okay.
with plenty of laughing emojis.
Yeah, I think Arcade has the brain cells to like send her after watching that while keeping his other eye on the technicians is just the completely confused face emoji, but also, laughing and crying behind it.
She'll just like message him back and be like, "We need to fill Brother Nick's hammock with rice cakes."
Oh no.
Oh wow.
Kid will text back. I'm on it. I'm sure we can order them.
She'll put like a couple devil emojis in there or something. They're just planning on having them write an apology letter to Brother Nick. And she's also planning on having Brother Nick write an apology letter to Nero.
But not Java. Got it.
Well, eventually Java, okay? He's a work in progress. The man is hanging by a thread. He also saw what he could do with the soap water, okay? She doesn't want to be on the receiving end of that. Oh no. Prudence sends an automated warning to Cade's combat. Unexpected water source detected in Bulkhead 1. Oh my words. Thank you, Prudence. Best ship in the system.
There is going to get a mop.
Love that.
Oh my stars. Okay.
What
So I've been Martin Alder getting to meet the Jakari.
Mm-hmm.
How do you want to go about those?
I'm good with whatever.
We've just
Okay.
been having a nice chat while we've been duking it out in the background.
Oh my word. Yeah, I don't know if he's actually gone around looking for Tom. Did he do that, or did he
May
wait
have.
for me to come get him? Oh, he may have. Just tell him.
Yeah, if you go looking for Martin Alder, someone will point you in the direction of Tom's room. You're
Okay.
looking for the shiny man, right? Went that way.
She'll just like very solemnly go towards Tom's room. She'll check her clothes real quick, brush off any rice cake crumbs that were sprinkled upon her, and any soapy water that they placed.
Say wipe off the suds.
Yeah, any suds on her boots, things like that.
Mm.
She'll just kind of telekinetically clean it off.
Mm-hmm. All right, she's presentable.
You know,
She
she'll
can
walk
she can hear
into.
Martin Alder's high-pitched voice through the door.
Oh no! What is
And
he saying?
as she goes in through the door, uh, he says, "So it tastes good. You like it?"
Oh no!
He's converting Martin to cannibalism. Stop
Oh,
it.
Brother Nick's senses are tingling. He has the soapy sprayer once more.
Yeah, and so she comes in. Tom is seated in one of his chairs, just looking up at Martin Alder, who's standing in the middle of the room in front of him, kind of pacing back and forth. They both look up as you come in. And says, "Ah, there you are. Well, I didn't know where you'd gone, and I heard some yelling. Figured it probably was not my business, so I decided to just come find your friend Tom myself. Uh, your all in guests on the ship were very helpful in pointing me in the right direction. And yes, we've just been having a grand old time. This telepathy is amazing. I'm sure I've experienced it before, but it just feels somehow different with, well, one of the Jakari. Uh, yeah.
Yes, do apologise about the yelling. Had a couple members who, well, I don't think they're quite a full shilling at the moment. They needed a moment to calm down. But glad you found each other. What you been talking about? And she'll look at Tom, hoping he'll form the telepathic bond.
He has, and
Okay.
he's he's basically raised an eyebrow and um, said to her telepathically, uh, he hasn't been too much of a bother. He's been asking some of the expected questions, and though he did hone in remarkably quickly on my
Uh-oh, did Ben cut out for anyone else?
No.
No, I heard him.
My Discord issues are back.
Uh-oh.
Oh, fun.
Okay, I can hear you again.
Goodness.
Oh, good. But
Oh,
no,
no.
he just tells Saoirse, I'm not sure if that should be concerning to you, but he seems harmless so far, as humans go. And his mandibles twitch as uh, he then broadcasts to both of you. Yes, we've been having a good discussion. Mostly one-sided so far, but I don't mind sharing. And Martin just gets a huge grin on his face again, and doesn't say anything as he looks intently at Tom, and then just says to Saoirse, "Yes, we've been learning about his admittedly short memories, his life experiences, being raised in a Tabukan laboratory, and well, his very unusual and varied fellow Jakari. Very interesting system of well, various subspecies, I suppose. And he starts kind of mumbling and trailing off as he continues pacing. Tom just looks to Saoirse and says to her in her mind, "Did you need something?"
Just wanted to pop on over and make sure everyone was doing all right. Mr. Alder, would you like any snacks or anything while you're in here?
Any
Oh,
rice
what was that?
cakes?
He
Oh, my stars.
snaps out of his contemplations and his mutterings. Oh, thank you. That's quite generous of you, but no, I'm far too busy. Well, I could perhaps use a bit of privacy as long as this is all right. I'm very much enjoying this. I promise not to take too much of his time or bother him. I'm sure that you get this sort of questioning all the time, my good Tom. But
Saoirse will tell him, we do appreciate you talking to him as an equal and not cowering in fear, really. We need as much uh, goodwill between the species as we can.
that's all right. I imagine if he were going around just eating people at random, that you might be a little more concerned about him yourself. So I have nothing to be concerned about.
You're fine. And then she'll look at Tom and telepathically she'll ask, are you okay with me leaving you alone with him?
Sorry, what did you say there?
She's telepathically asking Tom, are you okay with me leaving y'all alone? Basically.
Ah, right. Okay. Uh, He responds, "Of course, he's no bother. I'll let him know if he becomes such. He seems to be, well, someone who appreciates bluntness and frankness. Find that refreshing."
As do I. All right.
Thank you for checking on me.
No worries. And then she'll nod to them both and go back out to check on how the mopping's going.
All right. Yeah, he stretches, uh, scratches the carapace plate on his head, and seems to visibly square himself to continue chatting with Martin Alder.
Okay, cool.
All right. Anything
We're
else that you guys would like to get out? At some point, I'll probably move to just kind of fast forwarding some, seeing how long it takes, probably maybe a day at a time,
Kid
for
would like
the
to source
technicians
a
to.
vendor for rice cakes.
oh my stars. Okay, so are we fast forwarding though for real?
So vending, sourcing rice cakes can definitely be done.
Awesome. He'll place an order.
Yeah, they're a tad pricey being here on the station, but they are happy to serve.
Okay.
Let's see. So let me check here, see how this goes.
Oh, Narrow dropped Kareem's name.
Oh,
Oh,
Oh man.
wow.
Is there about to be
shock.
heartbreak? I need popcorn for this.
Let's see here.
Java. I just wanted to share something. He's the cinnamon roll. He's the rice cake of this ship. My stars.
Oh man.
Oh, my word.
Okay. Let's see then. So, we get. Yeah, let's see. Kate is able to get a delivery of rice cakes to the ship. Uh, works over some credits and guess is now going to have to decide uh, how best he would like to use his newfound power. But the rest of the day passes with lots of whirring and beeping and various mechanical noises coming from the engineering room. All all of Martin Alder's technicians hard at work. Um, after just a couple hours, uh, Mr. Alder himself uh, leaves Tom's room. Uh, he'll visibly ecstatic, but also looking very tired. And whoever he runs into on his way out of the ship, he says goodbye to, and then makes his way back to his own quarters without further ceremony. I should interject at this point that in the mid-afternoon, Boris, Caldwell, and uh, Martinius all return to the ship. And
Great. MT3.
they take stock of the current situation going on the ship, and Boris, looking a bit more agitated than usual, heads off asking after Victor.
Oh, he looks agitated.
Mm-hmm.
That's
find
not
out.
good.
Gotta find out what that's about.
A couple of Martinez's aides come and see to him, escort him off to a secluded part of the ship, probably the opposite airlock. Go and help him find a comfy spot to rest, get him snacked up from his long and grueling conversations that have been taking place. And Caldwell, uh, he would find Saoirse just long enough to say that the meeting was very productive with the Enagrians, but he'd like to have a little time to rest before discussing the results of that meeting. And around this time, the head technician comes looking for Cade.
Okay. He's still in there. He's hanging around the engineering bay.
Okay, cool. So he's stayed around.
Yep.
So you'd have a kind of a brief little powwow with he'd call all his techs together. They'd compare some notes, and he would come over and Cade and say, uh, "Mr. Kadir, it's looking fairly promising. I think we'll be able to figure out at least the state of some of the materials that we'll need. We're going to have to extrapolate some about the precise processes, techniques used, but I think with about a week's time of analysis, we could come up with enough information to at least begin preparing the infrastructure and sourcing the required components to start building a prototype. I understand these things take time, uh, and without the proper facilities, we'll have to make do on our own, modify what we have available at Alder Industries. But
Of course.
I hope 1 week is not too long. It would really be most helpful if we could get this out of the way now before you bring us more information later.
So
And
you're
he says
saying
that
you
one.
need another week looking at the ship then?
Yes. And you are bringing blueprints or perhaps even a drive that we can keep.
I believe we did discuss bringing a ship from the shipyards. I would have to ask the captain.
He gets a glow in his eyes. Ah, good. I was hoping that was not Mr. Alder's
My stars, this guy's voice makes my skin crawl.
particular brand of hyperbole.
No, I
His,
think
his tongue
that
briefly
was
flicks to wet his lips.
part of the agreement.
Oh my
Oh.
word! Is this
But
guy
I
a
have to
lizard
ask.
or what?
I couldn't resist. Lean into it. Justice for Java. I just saw this. Yeah, whatever. So, yeah, he says, well, if you would, do please go ahead and have a chat with your captain. We'll continue working here for Chix's watch. Maybe 2 more hours, and then we'll call it a night. I think that should be good, but we'll be back first thing in the morning, assuming that's all right.
That should be okay. Try to do it after 8 o'clock, though. Station time, at least.
Hmm.
Not everyone is an early riser.
He gives Cade kind of a mildly displeased look. Not morning people, huh? You realize this is incredible progress that most people could never have dreamed of having the opportunity to have.
You realize how
Their
many people are sleeping in
fingertips.
here that we'd have to wake up and get out of here otherwise?
He purses his lips. Fine. 8 o'clock it is. And these floors had better be cleared when we come.
Oh.
He points around.
Oh.
Yes, let us poke and prod the refugees off of the floor of our ship so you can wheel your cart through and nerd out over our TL5 drive.
They're refugees. We will do what we can.
Thank you. And of course, I'll be relaying my observations so far to Mr. Alder, and I'll be prepared to tell you in the morning what he's planning to compensate you for your time.
Okay.
Fuel scoop.
All right, so what do you guys think about the tech's assessment? The time he needs.
Well, I know TL5 is hard stuff to come by. So personally, like a week, that's actually a pretty good deal. I know if I was a tech wanting to study something like that, I'd want more than a week. Um
We're thinking of doing some mods. Give him 2 weeks. Do some mods.
We are not, also to be clear, there will be people on our ship. He is not getting just a clear shot to investigate our ship with no one on it.
Right,
Mhm.
yeah, he understands his scope is limited to that area. In fact, you guys could mark it off on the floor somehow if you
I
wanted.
mean, if he's not scared, just tell him we've got a really angry priest with a water gun and a space leprechaun who will jump all over him if there's a problem.
Oh, I thought you were gonna mention the human flesh-eating alien that
Oh, that
sleeps
too.
one
Listen,
door
I don't like to
removed from the.
weaponize my friends, okay? We've weaponized ourselves.
Wait, so Brother Nick
Gotcha.
isn't a friend anymore?
Lol.
I was about to say you didn't
That bus
bat
just
an eye at
parked on
weaponizing
him.
it.
He was the first one you weaponized.
It's okay.
I,
Let's
I,
not
type,
talk about it.
I typed it in OOC chat, but I intended it for session chat. If they want the refugees off the ship, maybe Aldrich can put them up somewhere nice. Let them stretch their legs.
It's true.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe barter that since we already kind of wanted the 2 weeks. They'll feel like they're getting a deal. I guess that might have been more out of character that we wanted our 2 weeks for mods.
I think that was out of character. Yeah.
I mean, Brother Nick would know how long roughly it's going to take to make some modifications. Um, and if he brings that up to the crew, um, Java might have something to pitch into that conversation.
mhm.
Be fun to see how that goes. But maybe we can deal with that. Can kind of decide how much time and what you guys want to work on with your downtime between sessions.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So it sounds like you guys are at least cool with the 1 week, and maybe even want to give him an extra week.
Yeah, I think we could be bothered to part with that, especially if we get some mods out of it. Goodness.
Mm-hmm.
The in character part feels like giving him a second week is kind of sacrificing Thea Rollins more than I think Nero would be comfortable.
Mm.
So
Hmm.
Yeah, I was
Nero,
gonna
in
say
the
that.
interest
Yeah, it is a concern. But
yeah.
of expedience and uh, not spending too much time discussing something that's about to get resolved, um,
Oh no.
I'll just cut us a bit forward.
That hint's not good.
Wow, you guys just immediately assume the worst about me. Surely I haven't done anything to deserve that. No,
It's a dread
so
gazebo, Ben.
We don't have any
fair.
paladins. Oh wait, we might.
You absolutely do.
My.
Yeah, we do.
All right, so
Wait, that means
uh,
that Java and Nero are the Dread Gazebo because the paladin went all ham on us.
Oh my word.
Ah, yes.
I love how I'm playing in a totally different system, a totally different genre, and the gazebo still came up.
yeah.
Yep.
We have to show our viewers how old we all are. Or how nerdy, whichever.
Yeah, man, I remember my first run-in with the gazebo. Poor Grinnick the orc. No, anyway, order in the court. Boom, 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 hitting the gavel. So General Caldwell comes rustling up the crew with an update, and I'll just hit the highlights here. I won't delve into in character at the moment, but he lays out what the results of the day's discussion with the Anagrian ambassador were. Uh, the Anagrians have agreed to provide a hefty supply of weapons, ammunition, food in form of rations, and even a couple of uh, decommissioned vehicles, kind of surplus, uh, provided that they can arrange some sort of transportation for those back to their planet. They're in discussions about acquiring a ship for themselves, and it's looking like it will be um, it'll just be a civilian class shuttle that's able to house all of them. And
Hmm.
the Agrians has also given them given all of them except for Boris, uh, refugee status on Anagris,
Oh no.
regarding their Uralan citizenship. And there's
Interesting.
Yeah.
there's housing, there's place that they can stay on the planet if they so choose, or there there's also temporary accommodations that can be allowed for them here on the station, though. Uh, the station is apparently fairly restricted in its capacity and being prioritized for other uses right now. So they let's see what remains. So he's kind of glossed over all of that stuff, and he says that he he mentions that they would greatly appreciate the Prudence uh, transporting those supplies, and he can arrange for some sort of compensation when they arrive, when they deliver it on Urala. They do still have some stores of credits that haven't been frozen uh, on the system. So he looks hopefully at Saoirse.
Saoirse wasn't. Okay, can we say this isn't happening at the same time? I'm sorry.
Correct.
Sorry.
Yeah,
Okay.
the text stuff, this would have been
Yeah.
hours
Okay.
before.
Okay. This is hours before the tech stuff. Okay. Okay. So anyway, um, give me bullet points. I'm sorry
I
on
think
what
we're
was
distracted from
happening.
what's the text.
Yeah, I didn't
Uh,
know it was happening hours before the text. I thought it was
well,
happening concurrently, so I didn't think I would be there.
oh no, it's happening after. Well, let's see. The text stuff is yeah, I
It was
guess
like when Alder and Tom were talking.
right. So in what I was just discussing, several hours have passed since the mess cleanup
Okay,
happened.
cool.
So you
All
guys
right,
are texting about a flashback scene, basically.
that's fine. So anyway,
So in the moment, Caldwell is giving you the rundown from the Anagrian negotiations today. Basically, the Anagrians are taking care of housing and possibly a loanership for the Uralans. Um, they've agreed to a certain amount of supplies, including miscellaneous guerrilla warfare type stuff and a couple of decommissioned vehicles.
solid.
Um, Caldwell is hoping that the crew of the Prudence will be willing to transport those to Urala in exchange for payment in credits that could be made on the Urala side, or you know, perhaps a barter of some kind. Also notable was the fact that Boris was denied refugee status on Anagris.
Oh snap!
Yep.
That is quite noticeable. Notable. Yeah, she would have agreed to all of that.
Okay.
She'd already been planning on it, and she stuck her neck too far out with Alder for the Uralans at this point to say anything other than yes. So
Okay. Alrighty then. He also mentions that they're going to be trying to get in touch with some mercenary groups uh, with the help of the Nagrians, just using their connections. And there may be more on that later. Although he's also uh, he's going to have to discuss the whole rudder situation because so far they've been pretty strict and restrictive about who gets the routes connecting Anagris to Urala. But they do have them. The Anagrian government has that, so you guys aren't needed to be involved in that discussion.
Okay.
Let's see. So Caldwell seems satisfied with Saoirse's prompt and total agreement to handle that. And relieved, also clearly tired, he bids you all good evening and goes to find his bed.
He has quarters, right?
Yes. In fact, he to anyone who happens to be in the vicinity, he remarks on the clean scent and the freshly polished, shiny floors.
We're
Of
still working on
course.
that, but yes.
Oh, I guess so. But you
Well,
think
I
this
mean,
would
No,
take
in
it
the
would
a
have.
couple
text, we're
It would
still
hours?
have
working on it.
been
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Hours
Okay.
ago in the
In the
past.
flashback, yeah.
Oh,
They're
yeah, I
working
got
on
you.
the flashback.
Still in the flashback. I was gonna say, I hope it wouldn't take them too many hours to finish the mopping. Nero has done this before.
She has. She's not great at housework, but she definitely knows how to do it. She had a childhood where she had to do plenty of housework.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she might be having some PTSD style flashbacks to mucking out the barn.
You know, she liked the farm stuff a lot more than mopping and sweeping. Polishing was the worst.
Oh man. Yeah, I
Java
guess.
has no clue. He's just sloshing around dirty water.
Yeah. Apparently, Nero prefers cleaning up cow poop to dusting shelves in the house. Hey, it takes all kinds.
Oh no! I see a lot of capital letters in there.
Yeah, that's a lot of. That, my friends, would be
Yep.
classified as a tirade.
Yep.
Oh boy. All right, so let's see. We've got about 30 minutes left in our session for tonight.
Oh dear.
Oof.
Do you guys want to bring
Wow,
this?
tearing into them, Danielle. Sorry, Ben. What were you saying?
No, you're okay. I was just going to ask if you guys want to bring this out of a text sidebar and into the spotlight.
I
Do
think it
it
would be
in character.
hilarious.
I'm down.
I'm fine, yeah.
Let it play.
Oh my word! I think it was Rust in Pieces or whatever he said. We don't always act like a telenovela, but when we do,
That was me. I'm
Yeah.
Rust in Pieces on.
that's
Twitch.
you. Okay, I was gonna
Yeah,
say I
that's
didn't know who
me.
that was, but that's perfect.
Yeah.
All right, so do you want us to pick up where are we picking up? Because we can rewind a little bit if you want.
Nah,
Up to you
let's
guys.
pick
Dex,
right up
or
from
you want to pick up
text.
from it? Huh?
Unless you want to vocalize that tirade, because that would be worth hearing.
Oh my stars. Oh man. Okay, let's put it to a vote. Put it to a vote in the chat.
I vote for just playing it out, picking a point and
Play it
starting
out.
from there.
Yeah,
You-
yeah. I'm teasing you. It would be worth hearing, but it's also you've
That's
already
good.
typed
There's
it.
plenty more.
Yeah,
I'm
just pick it
sure.
up and keep going.
Yeah.
All right, so Saoirse, after getting that off her chest, she's a little red in the face, and she's just at this point, instead of trying to very calmly and zen-like, telekinetically pick up all the water, she just like angrily picks up the wet bedding, and like begins to wring it into the bucket, that's next to Java. She may or may not have whacked him over the back of the head with the bedding on its way to the bucket.
Nero does something I don't know if Saoirse's ever seen her do before. She backs up a step.
Oh wow. Yeah, that's pretty impressive actually.
I'll just interject that Saoirse can manipulate like all the different pieces of bedding and the pillowcases and a couple mops too if she wanted to.
Oh yeah, no, I know she
to
can. As she's getting angrier.
Bad bed.
Well, I had plans. It's not really him introducing the idea. So as she's wringing out the bedding, she also picks up the mattress off of his bed, and you just see it begin to get wrung out as well. And I was always there with you when Kareem was about. I was the chaperone most of the time. I had to practically beg you to hold the poor man's hand.
I
And
told you what we were doing. I said we were eating rice cakes.
Nero, when you say one thing and then you go about acting another, what do you expect me to do? Just be blind?
I didn't
Just
want anyone
turn my
else
head
eating
away?
the rice cakes.
We didn't
Listen.
act another Cersei. We did what we said we were doing.
Saoirse.
And
She'll pop the mattress above his head when he doesn't say her name right, and just like glare at him.
look, I get you're mad, and like rightfully so if that's what you thought we were doing, right? But when you're mad and you talk quickly like this and you say all these words like floozy and
She's just
I
getting
think you
like
called me
more.
a whore. I mean, I have a hard time following you, getting the point. I don't know. We didn't mean anything by it. We were just trying to enjoy some rice cakes.
She's just like gonna look deadpan at him.
It was
Listen.
just rice cakes.
She all the water that was on the metal of the bed underneath the mattress just very quickly gets flicked off in a spray towards Java and Nero. And then the mattress just slams back onto the table. And then very, very quickly you hear a pop of sheets above it. And this whole time she's just staring at Java. And just say, I have a question for you. Was I talking to you?
I thought so, but I'll let you have your conversation then. Sorry.
The pillow is going to pop as well as the pillowcase is falling back on. She'll look over at Nero. She'll just say, listen, I was content to let you have your moment, have your side piece. Who am I to judge?
He's not a side piece.
Listen, I know that now. But when you ask me what I thought you were doing, I had no idea what to think you were doing, Nero. You're sneaking off into every crevice of the ship like some kind of thief.
We told you.
Yeah, you told me, Nero, and was I supposed to think that was all you were up to? Running around like a couple dossers. And both of the mops are going to be angrily swirling around behind him.
Why wouldn't you?
Nero, most people, when they're running around with someone sneaking off into corners, are not exactly honest about what they're doing. And then she'll pause, and the mops kind of slow down, and she'll give a sigh. I will say never given me any reason to think you wouldn't be honest with me.
She lowers her head a little bit. I did eat rice
Then she'll-
cakes without you.
Ugh, the bloody cardboard rice cakes I couldn't give 2 cents about. Now you, she'll level a look at Java, really, like, she's goes from, regretful, I owe you an apology, to glaring at Java. Do I have any reason to believe that you would tell me the truth? Have you proven yourself trustworthy to me in any way since you've been on my ship?
Mm. Mm.
Put your hand down and answer me.
Yes, ma'am. Have I ever lied to you before? I mean, I'm sorry. I don't know what else to say besides that. If there's anything I can do to make up for this horrible misunderstanding, I'll do it.
All right, I'll think on that.
I
In the
have an idea.
meantime,
I have an
what,
idea.
Nero?
Eat a rice cake.
If it involves the hamster wheel, the answer is no.
No,
Don't
eat
feel like it right now.
Eat a rice cake. They're good. You'll understand.
Had one before, Nero.
Oh. You didn't like it?
No, Nero. I did not like it.
One of these rice cakes. Not the ones with soap on them, but
Can
Nero's
Nero
whole world has just been crushed.
can Nero make like a persuasion check or something?
sure.
Is there can there I don't
Yeah.
care if you want it to just be like a straight skill check, Ben, but just any kind of charisma or
Yeah,
I don't
whatever
know.
you guys want to do about that. Maybe talk with charisma, maybe?
Yeah. That works for me.
Alright.
How hard do you think it'll be to convince her, Danielle?
Saoirse really doesn't like rice cakes, but I'll say that the clearance is a 4.
Well,
Because she has a soft spot for Nero.
I'd say it's gonna be at least a 7.
No!
The bar was
They're
at
close,
shin
though.
height, and yet
Saoirse
Nero just
looks
face-planted.
Saoirse looks at the rice cake in Nero's hand, and she takes it and looks at her and says, "Maybe later." And then she pockets it. She feels bad, but not bad enough to eat the rice cake. She thinks it's disgusting. Then she looks at Java, and she's a little less harsh this time. She's gonna say, before I met Nero, most people were really just a sack of tacks, waiting to disappoint me. She's shown me time and time again she's willing to literally cut my arm off if I tell her to, or help me do something crazy but necessary. And it's easy to say, "Oh, I haven't broken your trust." But everyone's just one mistake away from doing it. So personally, you have to earn my trust. I don't just give it away.
That's
And then
dark.
she'll slide the bucket over to next to his foot. So don't be too hard on yourself, because I'll be getting some good laughs out of the video I got earlier, and to be honest, I don't hold it too much against you.
I think we'll
Ned-
all look back at this as a hilarious moment. Definitely.
Saoirse looks over her shoulder, terrified, wondering if Brother Nick is going to show up. And then she'll say, "Listen, just try not to sneak off for any more private snacks anytime soon.
We won't
And
have to when the refugees are gone.
oh my stars, listen.
Okay.
The refugees don't want your ice cakes. Nasty little circles of cardboard. No one wants them but you two.
Sorry, Saoirse.
Yeah, whatever. Listen, you're gonna be writing sorry cards to Brother Nick.
Why? He sprayed
She,
us.
she glowers at them.
Nara lowers her eyes again. Sorry.
Listen, the old man's trying to look out for you and you give him a heart attack? Quit being sus and just do the right thing. Someone has to be the first to do it anyway. He'll come around, you just have to give him time. Throw you're on edge talking about heretics on his ship. Just try not to give the old man any more excitement, can you?
Nara nods.
Alright. Saoirse's gonna look around the quarters. Should look pretty pristine at this point. Anything else I can do to help you out, Jova?
I guess if you have any advice on how I can make this right with Nick, maybe we can talk about that later.
He blinks a couple times. Well, you could start by drafting an apology card. And then maybe a gift of some rice cakes would help later. Much, much later.
Or you could make toys and keep the rice cakes.
He does like toys. That's fair. But I don't think the toys are for him now. And then she'll shake her head real quick as if like, okay, I'm getting distracted. I'll think on it, but for now, just please stop looking so suspicious. If you need to have a snack, just you can come into our quarters. I don't care. Just don't get crumbs on my bed. And for the love of all that is good, please stop barricading the doors in my ship. All right.
Nara
See you
has
two
no
later.
response.
She's gonna put the bucket of dirty mop water gently next to Java's foot and air quotes magic telekinesis the mops to Nero. Just try not to get sprayed anymore, alright?
I should take both of these. Brother Nick's room is that way. Sorry I got you in trouble, Java.
It is what it is, I guess. I think it'll end up being okay. I don't know why everyone ever reacted so much. I guess I just don't really understand why they thought what they did.
Nero shakes her head. I don't know.
Now I guess I just have to figure out a way to make it right and prove that I can be trusted, because that's coming to question, and that doesn't seem right. I don't want to be on this ship piloting us through metaspace with a crew that just is worried about if I'm going to do the right thing. So if you've got any ideas, I know I already asked, but maybe we can brainstorm on how we fix this.
Maybe. Hang on, quick.
Oh.
Yep, sorry about that.
Okay.
Maybe instead of a card, wait until Brother Nick is not mad and just apologize to him in person.
Fair enough.
Why does she want it on a card anyways?
I don't know. Was she being sarcastic about the rice cakes, or do you think he actually wants one? What if that's why he's mad?
Oh no.
Oh no, they cannot
Next
get that out of
time
their
on
heads.
New Horizons,
Yep.
Rice Cakes Unlimited. Next time on Rice Cakes in Space.
Oh goodness, I just imagined one of those like old timey, super like slanted text that just
Rolls
what's
across the
like
screen.
yeah, that like unfolds across the screen in space with that echoey voice.
Yep.
Yep.
That's great. Sorry, probably everybody was already thinking that. I just had to put it in awkward words.
That's a good one, Ethan.
Oh my word. I really wish we had a way to share our memes with the streamers. So good.
Cinnamon roll too good. Oh my.
Oh, I think Narrow. I don't know if she's exhausted again from this or if she's now anxious and antsy. But she's gonna take the mops, and the bucket over to the storage so that Java doesn't have to go anywhere near Brother Nick. Oh, before she goes, I'll try and help you think of something to make them trust you again.
Thanks.
Less Java and Narrow are just too pure. I love them both so much. So true.
All right. Sounds like a good time to ask for the technical information here. Do we have a list of modifications and equipment they are going on that Brother Nick would be wanting to get started on, since he is currently the modder of the crew?
Ooh, technical questions.
If we don't have that list
Hmm.
already kind of made up, then that'll I sounds like we need to make that homework
Yeah,
for
I vote that's homework for next time.
for between sessions.
Mhm.
I do think though it would be good to go ahead and sort out um,
Hmm.
how Java finds out that how Brother Nick is going to be spending this time. I'll say this would involve needing to rent some workshop space on the station, assuming you guys are up for that.
Sure.
It's the standard price is 100 credits a day. If you
Well,
guys are gonna go for a week, that'd be 700.
can I shave any off of that with connected?
Hmm. You haven't been on the station long enough yet to build
Oh
up a
yeah, that's enough
network.
time. Gotta try just a roll for it.
Hmm. Hmm. Let's see
He's a
here.
charming man, Ben.
He's a charming
When he's not
man.
spraying people with suds of soap.
Yeah. Um. Let's see. I'll say that it's not entirely implausible that you could meet someone who's willing to do the modest favor of giving you the frequent flyer discount. Uh, Go ahead and give me a connect check with the old charisma.
Oh, charisma.
Brother Nick could use a bit more of that, couldn't he?
It's really bad. That was my dump stat way back when I was
Oh
making.
yeah.
Yeah. Um,
I'm sure you've got a couple points at this stage, right?
I think I went and got it to 0 because it was at -1, like just on that cusp between.
yeah. Let's see. Yeah, you managed to hit it off fairly well with one of the station's maintenance workers. And when you ask him about renting some space, uh, he cites you the standard price. And when you try to work your charm on him and ask about the discount for particularly valued customers, uh, he gets a bit of a sly look in his eye and says, "Sure, I think I could cut you a decent discount, but might need some favor next time you guys are in port. Nothing too onerous, of course, but I'm sure you could think of something. Even the score." He extends a hand, giving Brother Nick a weighing look.
Yeah, so I'll shake him on it.
All right. He smiles and says, "Yeah, I'm sure you'll only need 5 days in the workshop, and if there's a mistake in paperwork, I'm sure it won't be a big deal. We don't we don't turn away paying customers over some little mistake that one of our guys makes on the paperwork side of things. A day or two, give or take, no problem." And so, having cut the deal, Brother Nick has his work cut out for him. Um, what is everyone else going to be doing with their week of downtime?
Well, Cade is going to take the opportunity when Brother Nick is off the ship to pull out the rice cakes that he bought, sneak them into the armory, and set them into Brother Nick's hammock,
Oh no.
and like pull up the blanket just a little bit, leave one of the little tops peeking out, and then sneak back out of the room.
I think that goes really well with what I was hoping to do.
Oh
Oh,
no.
let's hear it.
Oh no.
So I was hoping to ask permission of Sersha to actually go try and help Nick with these modifications. obviously with the goal of like trying to earn trust and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, did I have Java voice on still? So I want to
No.
I
be
think,
I want to be with Nick, or to try and help him
yeah,
while this is happening.
I think that's perfect. Saoirse would look very, like, first she'd look surprised, but then she would actually look kind of proud of Java for coming up with that. And she would tell, I think that's a grand idea. Just try not to make a mess of things.
Cool.
Then she'll look around. I don't know where he keeps that soap sprayer thing now, actually. I haven't seen it back in the rec room.
Very much want to be off ship when the rice cakes are placed so carefully.
Oh man, hoping for an alibi.
It may work out as one, may not. Who knows?
It's a pretty
We'll
good
see.
alibi. I was
He's not
agreeing.
exactly.
I've lost you guys again.
Uh-oh. Hello?
All I heard was he's not exactly, and then it cut out.
Oh, I was just saying he's not exactly trusted, so I could definitely see it looking one way and being another.
I don't see the luck roll.
Yeah, it's something you have to add specifically to your individual sheet. I think it's basically just
An option? Oh, yep, it's an option.
yeah, in the
Yeah.
settings. I
Just
think it's
click the gear
basically
and add
just
luck save.
it's like a saving throw that doesn't account for any of your attributes, just your level.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I've still got to figure out how I feel about the saving throws, but that's another story. Um,
And I don't know what Nero is going to be doing this week. I think she is going to want to make her apology to Brother Nick sooner than later. She's not really all that great with, putting things off.
mhm.
Um, but she is going to ask Saoirse if Saoirse thinks Brother Nick is um still mad. That's
Sounds like
no.
something.
She puts it like this: Can I make my apology to Brother Nick now?
Fair.
Okay.
I'll say I think we should leave some of
Oh
that
yeah.
in character stuff for next session. Okay.
No, yeah, I totally get that. I'm just trying to think what else she would be doing during this time. Um,
Okay. Well, probably. I'm just looking at the time. We could probably leave all that to be decided.
sure.
Let me work up my. Let's see, homework. Uh, list of mods. Um, I'm gonna put this here. Uh, okay. So going with 1 week for now, that means 4 levels worth of mods can be done. Also, assuming I don't know that anybody has TL5 salvage on hand. But if they did, that could be accounted for. um, I know you guys have acquired some at some point. I just don't remember if it was like ship-sized salvage or personnel-sized salvage.
Gosh, I
Um,
don't even remember
but
requiring any.
that can be investigated it also between sessions.
Yeah. Okay.
Also, let's see the downtime activity for each character.
Yeah, I'll get back to you on that later. I have no idea at this moment. Guys, that was such a fun session.
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Y'all get me every time. I
I
mean,
was dying.
Oh.
Like, is Daniel gonna open the door? Oh, plot twist.
all
Oh,
all
my
we ever
word.
did was create a stage, and everyone filled it.
Oh my word.
Yep.
Though when brother Nick said something about a Java Junior, I was just like, oh, Saoirse's immediately imagining
That's
a
okay.
pregnant Nero running on the hamster wheel with Twinkies in her arms. She's horrified.
To be clear, when we barricaded the door, we hadn't considered whether or not that would be dangerous or wise.
Nope.
Fair.
Man.
Yeah, that went basically the most perfect way it could possibly have gone.
Oh my word.
That was hilarious.
Also imagining brother Nick crawling over the bed that has just fallen on top of him, angrily spewing about get away from him. It's-
Oh. So I don't have a favorite for the session.
the session. It's just the session.
All the above.
Everything that happened in this session.
Well, that's fine because you don't have to go first. Avery does.
I really like that part where let's see, where I fell asleep and somebody tried to spray me with a hose. No, I really wasn't expecting the hose. I mean, that was like totally a wonderful unintended consequence.
That was a
of-
perfect bit of comedy, if I do say so myself.
Oh yeah, no, it was great.
Ethan.
That was hilarious.
You know, and I like Javo now being in this uncomfortable situation where he feels like he has to earn the trust of, you know, people he sees as his friends, right? Because, you know, he is that, like, I don't even know the right word, idiotic, I guess. Like,
Oh.
He's got
he
big golden retriever energy.
he does.
Yes.
Like, he really
Yes.
felt like y'all were all his friends, and now he feels like, oh, well, like, maybe he hasn't earned that yet. Like, to your point, right? Like,
Mhm.
I could just see like his character starting to like piece these things together when in all actuality like he should have like already known, right? Like, I don't know, it's fun to like play out in my head what he would do
Mhm.
and how he would feel.
Yeah, and I think Saoirse would actually have felt a little bad about saying that afterwards, but she was in an angry headspace, and there was no holding it back.
Oh, I think it was super fair. Like,
Yeah. Man.
the role play was fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. Hey.
All right. So let's see. That brings it to me. Oh boy. I'll just say, besides the obvious,
A lot to unpack.
yeah. Um,
Yeah.
It's the obvious. Wait, what's the obvious?
I mean, the obvious is the whole like ridiculousness of that. I guess I shouldn't just cop out like that. Um,
Because I'm too far gone to understand what the obvious is. So you got to
yeah,
tell me.
I think the uh, I'll just say the physical comedy of that whole situation, but specifically around the falling bed and I guess the soap hose, something like that.
Oh my word! I
Um,
was imagining like the old 1920s, 1930s looking Brit seltzer bottle. Do you know what I mean?
oh yeah.
I know that's
Oh,
not what it was, but
okay. I thought you were about to say like the 20s like silent film style, like with the upbeat uh like circus type music in the background and slightly sped up, like the guys stumbling all over each other, and slipping and tripping in the soapy water, like Three Stooges
yeah,
style,
yeah, it's the
over and over.
seltzer.
Um, but yeah, there was that. I think also, oh, whose reaction was it? Um, oh, I'm drawing up a blank right now. Oh, uh, I'll just say Ahmed stuck on the bridge.
Oh man,
Okay.
I feel like that just added a fun flavor to all of that. That he was getting a very unwanted front row seat. Oh, of course, that's what it was. Um, okay. Getting. Oh dear, I don't know.
Use your words, Ben.
Words, man, they're hard. I guess Saoirse getting like asking parental advice from
oh man.
Oh, that's right.
That was funny.
Did your parents ever find you sneaking away with a girl?
yeah. Um,
That's really a private question.
and then Brother Nick walking up right after that question, just cherry on top. And that's it for me. That's enough already. But those were all my most favorite parts. Danielle, what about you?
Oh man. Brother Nick finally getting to just unload his righteous indignation on poor Nero and Java. Just oh man. Um the fact that also that she got asked about it after all that, and that I got to have an angry telekinetic cleaning scene. That was fun.
So,
You just made me think of the scene from Emperor's New Groove. The mom like,
oh.
I need to go watch something.
Oh yeah. Basically, yeah.
uh,
So
Oh man.
Dex, what about you?
I loved the whole thing. Something that wasn't in this session but was this session is that it's actually going to cause some or not going to. It has caused some introspection and some Nero taking some time to think, which isn't something that she doesn't do very often because she doesn't really like that kind of thing. But I also did write down a couple of things. That's what I just said is basically just like the whole session. But I also wrote down can't talk, sermoning, and righteous baptism of soapy anger. And I don't know which of those should be the session title.
Nice.
Because the can't talk sermoning actually works in 2 places now. Brother
True.
Nick certainly wasn't talking when he was sermoning Nero and Java.
I think it's up to Ethan.
Yeah. Which
Maybe
would
give
you
me
rather
rice
have the title
cakes.
be?
You like
Yeah,
the
all right.
can't talk sermoning. They're both really good though.
All right, Ethan, what's your fave from the session?
Oh man, it was all so good. I think my main one was just like it's all the good back and forth. Everybody was on it for like responding to and yes anding each other. And then I guess my personal pat on the back was realizing that I could emote as the Prudence.
Oh, that was
That was
you.
good.
Alert.
Awesome. I thought that was bad.
I was wondering if someone would fess up to that. I was just gonna keep quiet.
Well, I saw his avatar all of a sudden looked like the Prudence, but I didn't want to say anything because it wasn't important in the flow of things. But I was like,
Yeah.
oh, it was Ethan. It was brilliant. Well played.
Yeah, good catch. I didn't notice the avatars in time. Let's see. Did I capture yours, Ethan?
Oh my god, hop back here. Yeah.
Okay. Robert, get the final say.
It's kind of hard to pick just one thing from this session, or even just 2 or 3, because the whole thing is just hilarious. I like building on earlier in jokes and themes, and I like the sometimes the nature of the sort of soap opera slash telenovela style of where there's action one session and everybody's in this big ol' intense combat, and then the next time or two where we break down and oh yeah, we're arguing about rice cakes. Yeah, I like that sort of pendulum.
Pendulum.
Yeah,
Nice word.
but
Yeah.
also the brother next hose. That was just too perfect. I was not expecting that. I expected him to go sermonize immediate, but he's like, "No, I'm getting the hose, and then I'm gonna sermon with the hose." I was like, "Oh, okay, now that was too good."
There's a time for words, and there's a time for
There's a
soap.
time for soapy water.
Of righteous indignation.
Yes,
Oh man.
Irony.
and he sent the session to a friend.
Awesome. Well, that does it for favorites. I'll be going first next time. Let's see. I've given everyone 1 XP, so make sure to note that. Hear
Noise.
softly sobbing children, and without further ado, I will call this the end of the session. You guys are welcome to stick around and chat as long as you want. Thank you to everyone who watched. Glad we got a little extra viewership tonight. Hope we made some people's nights. Let's give them a little bit of
Hope you all
fun.
had fun.
And yeah, I guess we do this every Monday night, same time ish,
Ish.
9 to 11:30.
Depending on
Ostensibly
kids.
8:30 to 11:30. Yeah. Oh, kids have been interesting lately, but yes, all in the Central Time Zone. But yeah.
Yep.
Good night, all of you.
I'm gonna go ahead and cut the stream now. Thanks for watching.
Do it again.